What's going on, everybody? I'm back, and today this video is probably going to be really short, but I just wanted to share something with you guys that I just kind of went through like literally 10 minutes ago, and the different transitions that happen within the time span of like 15 minutes, right? So I was doing laundry where I live. We have a laundry facility on site, and last night I fell asleep and forgot to go get my laundry. So I went there this morning to get my laundry out of the dryer and then get my put my clothes in the washing machine to finish, doing my laundry or whatever. And so I walk in and there's a homeless guy laying on the floor. And so it's a man. So initially I get a little scared because I was just not expecting anybody to be in there like on the floor. So I was a little, just frightened, because it was just unexpected. And so I look at him and I didn't say anything, and I just proceeded to, put my things in the washing machine. And so I looked in the dryer that I knew that, because I use the same dryer every time. I looked in the dryer where I knew I put my clothes to dry last night before I went to sleep, and nothing was there. So immediately, I'm already in a very not so great mood. Like, I didn't even feel like doing this video, but God just put it on my spirit to do it, so I'm, obeying. But I looked at him, and initially, I just was like enraged, right? But when I looked at him, I didn't say anything. And one thing about me, and this is something I'm working on, my facial expressions can be very intense, if that makes sense. So and I think I get this from my father, because my father, when he was around, when he used to live with me and my grandma, he would have this look on his face, and anytime he would make that look, it would scare the life out of me. And whatever I was doing, I just would stop, because I felt like, okay, this look right here means that I'm doing something and I need to relax. So I have that same look, and it speaks, and it's very rich, it's very loud, and I don't have to say a word, but that look alone just lets you know what time it is, right? And so I looked at him and with that look, right? And he just was like, "Oh, did somebody take your clothes or something?" I said, "Yeah." And I said it just like that, like very calm, because when I'm upset, I'm very calm. I don't get irate and yell and stuff like that. I used to, but now I'm very calm, because if I'm not, then my mind will go to action, and that's something that I'm used to doing in the past. But now I'm like, okay, just relax, be quiet, just take in this moment, and let's find a solution. Let's not go there, right? So he was like, "Oh yeah, I seen a lady take it. I seen a lady earlier come in and take it. It was a black lady." I said, "Okay." And so I proceeded to put my stuff in the not dishwasher, in the washing machine, and I just left out and continued my walk, because the whole purpose of me today, finishing up my laundry, was to go out and take a walk in nature, because I've been very stressed and just in a very, very bad place mentally, and this happens a lot during the fall, the colder months, because I struggle with depression. I hate to say that and claim that, and I'm not claiming it, but it's the truth. It's something that happens, and I'm seeking therapy for it, and it's something I'm working through, but it's true, so prayerfully God will deliver me from this permanently, so that I don't have to deal with this anymore. But I think everybody to some capacity deals with grief, deals with different things, and time will heal that. But anywho, back to the story. So I walk out, and a lot of emotions are happening, a lot of things are swirling in my head, because everything that was in that dryer was my work clothes. Like, every piece of work clothing that I had was in there, and my very expensive North Face jacket that I just bought not long ago. And so I'm like, okay, I already don't really feel like going to work tomorrow. So I'm just gonna be like, look, I don't got no clothes to work, so if you don't want me to not wear a uniform, then I just won't come to work. I just was going there, and then part of me wanted to go back and fight the man because he had a duffel bag full of clothes. And I wanted to go through it and be like, give me my stuff. Like, I wanted to go off on him, but where I am now spiritually, I just couldn't do it. But it was like brewing in me. It was like coming back up, like that instinct that I used to have as a child, like back in middle school and high school. Like I used to just go off and be about action, so I used to fight men. I used to fight boys when I was in high school and when I was in middle school. So that part of me that I've been delivered from was starting to come back up because I wanted to go in there and like just beat this man up. And I know that's bad, but I'm just being real transparent with y'all right now. I wanted to go in there and fight him, and like to a pope over clothes, right? So, but these are just thoughts swirling in my head. These are not actions that I'm pursuing, like right after the thought, right? So I'm walking, I'm breathing, and I got this book in my hand because I like to go to this specific place and just read and sit in nature and just kind of meditate and just clear my mind, right? And so as I'm walking and thinking these thoughts that are negative and not right or just or pure, there's another side that's like, okay, so your stuff is gone, now what? Even if your stuff is gone, do you trust me? Do you trust that I'm going to provide for you? Do you trust that I will restore you? These are the thoughts that are in my head. And the crazy thing about it is, right before I came outside to go and do my laundry and finish up my laundry, I had just got done praying, reading my Bible, meditating, praising God. Like, I was just in this great spiritual space. And then literally right after I was in that space, I don't know if it was, God testing me or God giving Satan permission to test me, but literally after I was just in this great space and I was feeling better, this happens. I find out my stuff is gone. So I'm like, okay, all right. So I'm like feeling very let down, very betrayed, and just angry. Just angry is the best way that I could describe this feeling that I was going through at this time. And so as I'm walking, please excuse my nails, I'm just real messed up right now. So as I'm walking, I'm like, okay, all right, they're gone, and I can't control that they're gone. I can't go get them back. I don't have the money to like really go and buy all this stuff back because the company gave this to me. And I know they gonna be mad because this is their money and it's just gone, but there's nothing I can do. And if there's nothing I can do and I can't control this, then I'm just gonna let it go. So that's what I did. I let it go. And I said, you know what, God, I know. I don't know why. It was really weird. I was like, when I get back to this laundry room, I said, something told me, go back in there. And I said, okay, mind you, I had done everything I need to do. My clothes not going to be dry. Not going to be washed in 15 minutes. And that's how long it took for me to walk, right? So I said to myself, okay, when I go back in here, Lord, them clothes going to be in there. They're going to be in there. I don't know how, but they're going to be in there. And so I was real chill, real relaxed because I really believed that, right? And so when I went in there, the homeless guy, he had, cleaned up whatever, got his stuff together, and he was in there smoking on the washing machine. He was like, hey, I think the lady came back, but I think she put your stuff in a different dryer. I said, oh, okay. So I looked and I opened it. All my stuff is right there. So basically, he had took it, and I don't know if it was my reaction that made him feel like he should probably put it back or what, but I know he took it. I ain't seen no lady, and I was outside, you know what I'm saying? So I would have seen somebody walk in there, right? So I felt relieved, but then after that, God whispered to me, even if, right? Even if your stuff was gone, do you trust that I would have taken care of you? Do you trust that, you would have been okay, that you would have got your stuff back some way or another, or where another blessing would have come from somewhere else, And I really believed that, and I let it go. I was frustrated now, don't get me. And sometimes that's how Satan will get you. Like, you'll be frustrated about other stuff, and then it'll be that one thing that's the cherry on top that can take you out if you let it. And that's kind of where I was at, because I'm already dealing with, a lot of stuff. And, just mentally, really. It's not like physically, like I'm blessed. I got a place to stay. I'm in my own home. All the things that I prayed for, God has delivered on those promises. And I'm taken care of. I have stability. I'm at the same job. I haven't quit. Like, I've been persevering in that area. But there's a mental perseverance that has to happen when you're not used to persevering, when you're not used to stability, when you're not used to having the things that God has blessed you with, and having the ability and the willingness to continue to obtain those things, or continue to have those things, if that makes sense. Like the zeal that it takes to keep those blessings, because you can pray for something, but can you keep it? Can you uphold it? Like, can you maintain it? That's the word I'm looking for, maintain it. Can you maintain the blessing that God is giving you, right? And so a lot of times when we ask for certain things, we don't realize that there are some times that those things come with burdens. Even though the Bible says my yoke is light, like I give without sorrow, my blessings come without sorrow. Sometimes it still feel like you carrying a cross in a sense. Like, I just don't feel like, after all I've been through, and after God has given me countless times things that I've prayed for, I feel like that no blessing goes without some type of suffering or some type of sacrifice, or something like that. So it's like, it's tough, and it's tough, and you just gotta really trust God. And that little moment, even though Job went through something way more devastating, it just reminded me so much of what Job went through and his faithfulness in that process. Like, he didn't give up on God. He didn't start doubting God or turning his back on him or cursing him. He felt like he was discouraged, he was hurt, but he kept going. He didn't stop. And I feel like this little experience this morning, within 15 minutes, was just God showing me, like, if you trust in me and you have faith in me and you continue to persevere through whatever obstacle, whatever comes your way, I will protect you. I will take care of you. And I won't allow any weapon formed against you to prosper. And so that's what he was telling me during that process. And it's a blessing that when I came back, my stuff was there, because I really believed that. Like, I don't know if it was because of me believing that, because who knows? Like, I could have been like crying. Well, I did start crying a little bit, because it was just overwhelming, because I was already feeling away when I woke up this morning about some things. And so I did started crying about it. I'm like, dang, like, I worked hard for this stuff, and I paid for this stuff, and now it's gone. And it was just frustrating. But at the same time, I was like, okay, it's stuff, it's clothes, like, it's not that deep. Like, you can get clothes again. You have a job, you have a check coming again. Even if you didn't, what you have is already enough. Like, there's people who have nothing. There's people who don't have a place to go and sleep. Like, so I just started, like, thinking about the things to be grateful for. Like, this man is in this laundry room and he don't have nothing, but you have a whole home, you have a whole bed, you have couches, you have a dinner table, you have food in your house. Like, there's so many things that you have, and you worried about maybe $200, $500 worth of clothes that can be, given back to you, or that you can buy again, or that can be given to you, in some way. So that's just, so that's just like the things that I went through just in this last 15 minutes. And I just want to encourage you that if something's been taken from you and you feel upset about it, you feel frustrated about it, just trust that God is going to take care of you, and God's going to provide, whether that be you being evicted, or whether that be maybe your car got taken away from you, or whatever the case. Like, don't put don't make things your Lord. Like, don't allow a thing to consume you so much, or depend on it so much that if you lose it, you lose yourself, and that's kind of what I was doing mentally in that moment. I was losing myself. Like, I was losing who God had renewed me to be. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a new person in Christ, and I've been renewed mentally and spiritually. So for me to go back to that place mentally of how I used to handle things as a child, it wasn't healthy. But I think it's a little bit normal because of we're in the flesh, so naturally our minds will go to those things. But it's when we allow the spirit to take over that we make the right decisions. Because you know, in the Bible it says the flesh is weak but the spirit is willing. You know what I mean? So forgive me if I say it wrong, but it's something like that, where like your flesh want to do this thing because that's what satisfies it, but the spirit is what's gonna, you know, help you to make the right decision and ultimately give you the victory that you're looking for. Because who knows, if I never would have went back out of anger, somebody could have actually came back and got the clothes that was in that dryer, and then it's really gone. But because I had faith, because I said, you know what, for some reason I feel like when I go back in there, them clothes gonna be there. Because like, nah, because God is not gonna do me like this. Like, and even if he did, it's all good because I know he gonna bless me again, like he always does. And so if I would have not had faith and not felt that way, somebody could have came back in there and took those clothes that he put back in the dryer, in a different dryer. But I had faith and I went back because I felt in my spirit that my stuff was gonna be there, and it was there. So I just say all that to say, trust God no matter what happens, no matter what circumstance you're in, no matter what thing that pops up out of nowhere after you have given gratitude to God. Don't allow that thing or you losing something to lose your fervor, to lose your zeal, and to lose your faith in God and what he has for you and what he has already done. Don't forget what he has already done when something bad happens, because all it's going to do is take you 10 steps back. You need to, in that moment, remember the things that God has given you. Remember the things he's restored to you, and think, okay, yeah, this is a loss, but it's not that deep. God gonna give it to me again. So that's all I have for y'all today. Thank you so much for watching. And I'm sorry I look like this, but listen, sometimes I just don't have the energy to come on here dolled up and stuff like that. You just take me as I am. I'm not on here to look cute for nobody. Yeah, I be wanting to look good for the Lord and stuff like that, but sometimes I'm crawling in the spirit, as Miss Latoya Okia be saying, you know. So today I'm crawling. So you gonna get how I look around the house, and this how I look around the house. I don't got time to be doing hair and makeup and stuff like that, and I'm very emotionally drained right now, so I'm not even smiling, like, you know. And I'm sorry, but at least I obeyed, you know. At least I came on here and gave you the message that God encouraged me to give you. So I pray it blesses you, and hopefully next time I'll look better and not look crazy like this. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.